Hello everyone, this is Detrina from the Alluring Bead Boutique. I'm here today to do my first YouTube video in a series I'm doing for the next 6 weeks where I'm going to be doing for you some quick and easy tutorials for great holiday gifts. Today we're going to work on this earring, but on my Skillshare channel I have this class being published as of today for my opulent opal earrings. These are quick and easy, and they are absolutely stunning and beautiful. You'll need chatones for these. I have another pair here that I made during the shooting of that class. Let me just show them to you really quick, because they are absolutely gorgeous. And they use the 2-hole bars, but they work up super fast, and they're super pretty and exceptionally great gifts that you can work up in no time. So there's just a couple. I have been also doing some wire wrapping. I'm doing a craft show, my first craft show, and I'm all excited. So I'm trying to come up with some, some mid-range and lower price products. These are real pearls, and I just used artistic wire here to make my wraps. And then I've been making my own findings, and it's working out really good. So on this pair today that I'm showing you, I also made my own findings. But just stay tuned with me over the next few weeks, because I'm going to have a lot of quick and easy projects for us to do that are inexpensive. You can make them with things that you already have lying around, or that you can get really quickly and really inexpensively at your local craft or bead store. All right, so let's talk about the earring we're going to work on today. Let's go ahead and jump right into the materials. There's not very many, as you can see. You need some ear wires, obviously, and I'm going to use the ones that I made. You're going to need 2 colors of 11-0 seed beads. I'm using Toho. This is the aqua gold lined Toho seed bead 11-0. And then also I'll be using the Starlight galvanized permanent finish. Then you'll need very few 15-0s in the same color. So if you have some seed beads size 11 and size 15 that are the same color, that will work out great. And then you'll need 4 bicones, and these bicones are 6 mils, and they are just some inexpensive ones that I got out of a dollar bin at Walmart. But they're actually hematite, but when they work up with these gold aqualine seed beads, I want you to look at how beautifully they match here with this, and how they have pulled the blue color into the bicone there, and they look fantastic. You'll need obviously a beading needle, and you'll need some 6-pound fire line or some .006 wildfire. I don't suggest you use the .008, because we will have to go through our beads several times, and you don't want thread being noticeable here on your right angle weave. This is a craw technique, and it works up fairly quickly. So let's go ahead, and I'll pause for just one moment and come back, and we will get started. All right, so here I am, and I'm back, and I've got my needle threaded. I'm using a size 11 beading needle, which is pretty much my go-to needle. Let's zoom out just a little here. Like I said, we're going to be doing a cubic right angle weave. And the way we're going to start this out is at the corners. I find it's easiest to start with the first unit on the side, then the corner unit, then the side unit here. And that way you have a place to go. You can start at any one of your 4 corners on this. It doesn't really matter. But in order to start, I'm going to start at one of my side corners, just so we can stick to one color for now. So pick up the 4 of your, we'll call these green ones the color A. The gold line aqua will be color A. So we're going to pick up 4, bring them down to your tail, and then just pass through all 4 beads again. And if you're unfamiliar with cubic right angle weave, there are a lot of great videos out here on it. I have not sure if I've even done a cubic right angle weave video yet, but there are plenty of them out there. Before Backup has a great one. She teaches how to do it. And of course Jill Wiseman and several other people. So I've went through all my beads, and I've got sitting like this. I'm just going to go ahead and tie these off into a knot. I'm going to do 2 overhand knots and make sure that my knots fall between my first bead and my last bead that I picked up. And so now I have my little cubic right angle weave first unit. So now I'm sitting here at my knot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my needle and I'm going to go through 1 bead. So now we're going to take this little flat cubic right angle weave unit and we're going to turn it into a cube. And to do that, we're going to build units on these 4 beads that we already have. So I'm going to pick up 3. I'm going to go back through that same bead in the same direction, just like that, to form a loop of beads on the outside edge. Just like that. Now, I'm going to scoot over to the next bead on my unit. And hopefully you guys know how to do cubic right angle weave, because I'm not going to really go in depth on it today. So now we'll just pick up 2 of our color A. We're going to scoop through the 3rd bead we picked up in that last unit, plus the bead we're exiting. Then we're going to move to the next bead on our base unit. And we'll pick up 2 more. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to come through the last bead of that unit previous, plus the bead we're exiting now. And now we're ready to move into the 4th bead of the base unit. So we're going to move into that bead on the base unit, and we're going to go up through this bead on the side of our very first unit we created in this round. Because now we have 3 beads in our right angle weave unit, so we only need to pick up the 4th bead. I find it easiest to turn your beadwork like this when you're getting ready to add that last bead. So pick up the 1. And we're going to go down through the side bead over here. We're going to come back through that bead on the base unit, just like that. I go ahead and pull it through. Some people go through all 3 at once, and sometimes I can, but sometimes I cannot. So now I'm coming out of this bead on the base unit here. Sorry about that. I got myself a little, went through a wrong bead, so I back out so I can show you what's going on. So here's the 4 beads of this unit that I'm just now added that top bead to. I'm coming out of this bead here at the base of the unit. I need to go up through the bead here on the side. Then we can close up the 4 beads at the top, because you can see they're all sitting loose with no thread between them. So I'm left-handed, but you can go either to the right or the left. So I'm going to go to the left. We're going to pass through all those 4 beads at the top. So I'm going to go through those 2. Then I'm going to take my needle and go through the other 2. Then I need to go from this 4th bead to back to the 1st bead. So I go through this this 1 bead one more time, just like that. Now we're going to make another unit just like we did. We're going to pick up 3. And come back through the same bead on the opposite side, forming that first little grouping. Take your needle and move through the next bead on the top, just like that. So you're doing cubic right angle weave, you're working on the tops and the sides of these little cubes. So I've come through, now I need to pick up 2. We're going to come down through this bead here on the side, and then also through that bead from the on the base unit. And we're going to pass through the next bead on the base unit without picking up anything. Pick up 2 more. Come through the bead on the side and the bead we're currently exiting. Now we need to come through this 4th bead on the base. It's raining here today, so I don't have any extra light to help us see. And we'll need to turn our work so we can see where we are. Come up through the bead here on the left side, or the right if you're right-handed and you're working in that direction. We're going to pick up the 1 bead. We're going to come down through the bead on the opposite side, through the bead on the base. Then we need to move up through this bead on this side. And if you, like I said, this video is going to be for people that actually know what they're doing with craw. I'm not going to slow down and teach craw today. So then I'm going to close up these 4 beads on the top, just like we did previously. Stitch through all 4 beads and then go through the first bead one more time. So now we need to turn. So that unit we just created is going to be at the corner. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm coming out of this bead and I'm coming down in this direction. I'm going to roll my work and come through the next bead on the top of that unit, just like that. And I'm going to pick up 3. I'm going to make my first loop. Now you can see I'm working in the counterclockwise direction, so now I'm going to go through this bead on that base unit, because we're going to work on the side here. Then I'm picking up 2. And I'm going through those 2 beads, just like craw. Then I'm going to go through this bead. Well, apologize guys, my hands are a little wobbly today. I have nerve damage, but go through that bead on the base. Pick up 2. Then I'm going to turn my work around a little bit. So now I need to come through this bead on the side. And my base bead, if I can locate it. Yeah, hold on just one second, folks. My hands are giving me trouble today. Alright, so now I'm coming through the bead on the side and the bead on the base that I was exiting. Now I need to go through the next bead on my base and up through the bead on the side of my first set of beads that I added in this row, or in this unit, because I'm ready to add the 1 bead. So pick up 1. I'm coming out of this bead. I need to come down through the bead directly across from it and back through the bead on the base. So those 2 beads, when I pull, my little bead pops into position. I'm exiting this bead on the base, so I need to come up the next bead on the side. Right there. And then I have to close up the 4 on the top. Getting a pretty good rainstorm here today. We had a tornado here on the 23rd that just, we were so lucky, didn't hit any of the trees didn't hit our house. And we had a beautiful group of volunteers from the Baptist Disaster Recovery Organization come out, and they helped us so much. Then I'm doing through the last bead on the top again, the first one I should say. And so now I have my cute little corner. This is what your beadwork should look like right now. You should have 3 units of craw sitting with the little point. Alright, so now what we're going to do is we're going to work our way towards the gold. Now you can see here that I have these 3 units. 1, 2, 3. My next unit needs to have a gold bead, at the top of it. So I'm going to show you how to do that. What we're going to do to achieve that is pick up one of our color A, one color B, and one color A for our first loop of beads. Then we're going to pass back through the same bead that we're exiting, just like we've been doing. And that's going to sit that gold bead at the top, just like that. I have to come through my next bead. Then I want to pick up a color A and then a color B. I'm going to come through the 2 beads just like we normally do for craw. When I pull, you'll see my gold bead is at the top. Moving on to the next one. A color A and a color B again. Come through your 2 beads. Then move into the last bead of your base and up through the side bead. So those 2 beads. This time we're going to pick up this color B. We're going to come down through the bead on the opposite side and through the bead on the base. Then we'll come up through this color A on this side. Then we're going to close up our gold beads at the top. So we'll move through all 4 beads and then through the first one more time. So now we're ready to do a block of all gold. So we already have the bottom in gold, so we'll pick up 3 gold. Come back through the same bead we're exiting. Move into our next gold. Sorry if I'm getting out of frame. Let me zoom back out a little. And we're going to pick up 2 gold. Work this wall of our unit. Move into our next gold. Pick up 2 for this wall. Make our stitch. Then we're going to move into the 4th bead and up through the wall, the side wall bead of our first wall. Pick up this last gold bead. Come down through the side, over through the bottom. My needle is bent, I think. I may have to change needles. Alright. Hold the phone, folks. And make sure I didn't get hung up on anything up here. Alright, so I had a little bit of a mess, so I had to fix it. So I'm getting ready to add my last gold bead. Let's try that step again. So I'm coming out of this side bead here. I need to go down through the side bead on the opposite side, come back through the gold bead on the base, just like that. And I changed my needle because I think my needle was a little bit bent. So anyways, I'm going to pull my 4th bead into place just like that. Come up on the side, just like we've been doing. And then we're going to close our 4 beads here at the top. So we're going to pick up 2. And pick up 2. And pick up the 1. Alright, so now we're going to make a turn. So I'm coming out of this bead here on the top. So I need to roll down 1 bead, just like that. Pull my string through, just like this. So now I'm going to work on these 4 beads right here. And I'm going to pick up green this time, or my aqualine gold lined aqua. And I'm going to come back through the gold bead where I'm exiting from the other side. And I'm going to step over into my next bead. And pick up 2. Guys, I apologize for my hands shaking so bad today, but I want to do some YouTube stuff this month. I'm so busy and I'm not going to do much editing. So I hope you guys will enjoy these and not be too critical. I'm going to step into my next gold bead there of those 4 that we're working with here on the side. Pick up 2 more of the aquas. Come through the aqua from my previous wall in the gold bead. And now I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to move through this 4th bead, gold bead, up this side bead here so I can put my last gold or last aqua bead on this cube. So got 1 bead on my needle. I'm going to go down through the side bead opposite from where I'm exiting and the gold bead at the bottom. And we'll come up through the side bead. And now I can close these 4 beads here. So I'm going to go through, pick up 2 and pull. Then I'm going to pick up 2 and pull. Then I have to pick up 1 to finish closing up my top. So here's where we are so far. So now we have to do this unit and this unit. So I'm going to go ahead and pause, and I'm going to build my next 2 units. And you guys go ahead and pause me, and when I meet you back, we'll make this turn. I forgot to mention that for the next several cubes, we'll only be using the aqualine beads. So that's what you'll build these next 2 units with, is all aqua. So I just finished my 2nd unit, and now I'm ready to turn. So I want to create this unit here. So this is my corner unit right here. So where I need to work, my thread is exiting this bead. I need to come over 1 without picking up anything to position myself. So now when I build this unit, I'm going to be working with these 4 beads right here. So I will pick up 3, come back through the bead I'm exiting. You can see how bad my hands are shaking today, and I'm really sorry, but I have a really bad problem with my back, and it pinches the nerves in my hands. Alright, so I'm coming back through the bead I'm exiting from the opposite side to make my little loop. Then I'm going to move into the next bead here. And pick up 2. Come through the wall bead from my previous wall and the bead I'm currently exiting. Pass through my next bead on the base of 4. I'm going to build this wall. Sometimes I have to flip my beads up so I can see where I am. Now I'm going to go into the last bead on my base, which is this bead here. And then up through the sidewall bead from my first wall. So I can pick up my last bead, come down through the bead opposite and through the base bead one more time. Come up through the sidewall bead on this side one more time. And then I'm going to flip my work up like this and close up my 4 beads here on the top. Push through 2. Push through those 2. And push through 1. So my top is closed. So now I'm going to work my way towards the next gold point. So if you'll notice from here I have 1, 2, and then I have the unit that has the gold bead on it. So here we have 1, 2, and we need to do the unit with the gold bead at the top. So I am exiting from this bead right here. So I'm going to pick up an aqua, a gold, and an aqua, and we're going to repeat the unit that we did on the opposite side. So we're going to come right back through the same bead we're exiting, move into the next bead on the base of the base 4, and at this point, folks, I'm going to cut my tail thread off, because now that I'm coming back around, it's getting caught on everything. Alright, so I've moved into my next bead. I need to pick up an aqua and a gold. And I need to create this wall by passing through the aqua from my last wall and my base bead. Move into my next base bead. Once again, we're going to start with aqua and then gold. Not only am I having trouble with my hands, I'm also having trouble with my lights because it's dark here today. Now I'm going to roll it over, come through the base bead and the sidewall bead, going up towards the gold beads, just like that. And pick up my last gold bead. I'm going to come down through the aqua bead on the opposite side and back through my base bead. So now I can step up into the aqua bead on this side. And now I can close up my gold beads. Alright, so now I just need to build a gold unit on top of these beads. So once I do that, I'm going to come back and show you guys how to finish up on the turn and closing up right here. So go ahead and build your gold unit and come right back. So I finished my gold unit and I stitched through my beads and closed my top. So now I need to come in this direction towards this unit. So I'm exiting this bead right here. So I need to go roll my work downward. So I'm going to roll into that next bead right there. So now I'm working with these 4 beads are the beads I'll be working with here. And I'll also be working with these 4 beads on this side. So we're starting with this bead and this bead. What we're going to do is pick up one aqua bead. We're going to jump over and we're going to go through the bead at the top of those 4 on this side. Pull it through. Now, you don't have to pull it all the way tight because it helps you to see better if you don't. And we're going to pick up one more bead, and we're going to come back through this gold bead that we started from, just like that. Now we're going to pull. Now we're going to go through all those beads again. So come up the one bead, the first bead you added here. Then we're going to come over through the aqua bead, like that. And we're going to come up there. I'm going to flip my work real quick. I'm exiting this bead. I'm coming up through this aqua bead right here. And I'm going to go back through my gold bead. And now I'm going to come back through this aqua bead on this side of that unit we just created there. Like that. Now I'm going to roll my work around. So now for this unit we have 1 bead, 2 beads, 3 beads. So step over into the aqua bead here. So now we already have 3 beads of our unit. And I've stepped over through that aqua bead right there. I'm going to pick up an aqua bead. And I'm going to come back through this gold bead directly across from the aqua bead I'm exiting. So now I have a little 4 bead unit here. We need to tighten it up. So come down through this aqua bead. Come over through that aqua bead. Easier if you roll your work. Then I'm going to come through this aqua bead right there. Now, if you're really good, you can stitch this bead over here from going behind, but I'm not that great. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to work my way. I'm going to come down through this aqua bead. I'm going to cross over through that aqua bead. Now I flip my work. So I'm coming out of that bead. I want to go up into this bead. And I'm going to cross over through this gold bead. And now I can add my last bead. So I'm coming out of this gold bead right here. I'm picking up my aqua bead. And I'm going to come through the aqua bead down here, perpendicular to the gold bead. So right there. So we want to put one on that side. And when I pull it, now you see I have my little right angle weave unit right here with these 4 beads. So let's tighten it up. Let's go through the side bead, through the gold bead. Then we're going to come down through the aqua bead on the side again. And this time, I'm going to cut through the middle of my beadwork. So I need to go through the aqua bead. And let me see if I can get it to where you guys can see it. I need to go through that aqua bead inside. From side to side, just like that, straight across. And then I'll flip my work over. And I will be in position to come up through one of my aqua beads on the side. So I'm going to come up towards the gold. Like that right there. All right. So here's where we are, and we've got our little shape created. Now we need to get into the gold bead that is on the inside, down in here. And all we have to do is take our needle, and you have to poke in there till you get it in that gold bead. That gold bead hole runs up and down like this. I'm poking down through the gold bead. And I'm going to pull my thread. And it's very hard for me to show it to you, but you guys can see it in there. See the little gold bead? That's the one I want to be in right now. So here I am exiting that gold bead that's way down in there. And I'm coming out of this to this side of my beadwork. So now we're going to add one of our crystals. So pick up one of your 6mm and let it drop off the needle. It's easier that way. So now we're going to come through this gold bead directly across, and we're going to go through that bead from the same side that we're currently on towards the other side of the earring. If I can get my needle through there. And I'm going to pull it through and pull it in just like that. So now I'm going to flip my work over. So now I'm going to come back through my crystal. And I'm going to go back through my gold bead. And this is getting pretty tight here, so I'm going to go back through the gold bead. So then when I pull, now I have my beautiful crystal right in the middle. And the 6mm fits beautifully inside there. I'm just loving how it looks. Alright, so now we've got that part done. You can reinforce this crystal by passing through again and coming through your gold bead. I'm hoping I can still get through my gold bead because mine is super duper tight. I'm going to go ahead and use my pliers to get through. So now I have an extra thread in there. I think I'm going to stop right there. So I'm exiting from that gold bead down in here. Now, that bead is actually part of this unit here. So I'm going to come down one of my aquas. I'm going to go across and we'll work my way up. So I'm going to come up through the next aqua. Then I got to come over through this gold bead right here because that's part of that unit. And now I am going to get out some 15-0. So we are done basically with the aqua beads. We can put those up and get out some 15-0s. So I put all of my 11-0s away except for 2 gold 11-0s, which I'm going to slide over here with this crystal because we're going to use those later. Right now we're going to work on adding these little 15-0s around this gold unit. So I'm exiting from this bead to the left. I'm picking up a 15-0 and I'm going to go right around the unit adding a little 15-0. So I've put one in and I pick up the next one. And I'm going to come up through the next bead on this side of the unit. And we're only doing this to this side and that side. So now I'm sitting here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and create my loop for my ear wire. To do that, I want you to pick up 6 15-0s. So I've picked up 6 15-0s. I'm exiting from this bead. I'm going to come down through this bead on the same side of the unit we're working on. And I'm going to pull those 6 beads into position just like that right there. That's what they should look like. All right. Now I need to pick up one more 15-0. And I'm coming through this next gold bead right here. So what I just need to do is pass through the 15-0, and then I'm going to come on through the next 11-0. So we're just moving around and going back up towards the loop that we just created. So now I've come through that 11. I need to go into the 15 and 11 right here. And now I want to come up through 2 of the 15-0s in my loop. Now I'm going to pick up another 15-0. And I'm going to take my needle and I'm going to pass through 2 of the 15-0s of my loop right there. When I pull, it makes this cute little tip right here. So then I'm going to pick up another one and I'm going to come down through the next 2 15-0s and pop a bead in right there. So now I have that cute little shape to put my ear wire on. Now I need to come down through the 11-0, just the 11-0. And I'll show you why. Because now I want to come over to this part, these 4 beads right here, and add a 15-0 on this side. So I'm coming out of that 11-0. I need to come through the 11-0 here, 11-0 gold, just like that. And then I need to pass up through this first 11-0 here. And then I'm just going to put my 4 little 15-0s in between these beads. So pick up 1 15, go through your next 11, pick up a 15, and go through the next 11, gold, like so. And make sure that your string doesn't get hung up. I'll do that a couple more times. Come through this 11. And then I have one more. So picking up my last 15-0. And I'm going to go through that 15-0, the 11 and the 15-0 there at the tip, at the point. And I'm going to come back down through the 11 on this side. So I just want to come through that 11. And this is what it looks like. Now I'm exiting that 11, so I'm going to roll over through here. I want to come down. I'm going to work my way around to the opposite side. So I'm going to cross over through this 11-0 here. And then I can start working my way downwards. So I'm going to come through the aqua bead on the side. Then a crossover through this aqua bead here. Keep zigzagging around my units, following my thread path. So now I'm at this tip. So I'm going to come through the tip. And then I roll my work. So now that's the top of this unit. So come down the side, across, down, and across, down, and across this gold bead. Then we're going to go down the 1 gold bead. Then we're going to come through this tip bead right here on the top. Or the bottom, I should say. So now we're ready just to add our drop and end our thread. So what we're going to do is use these 2 11-0s, some 15-0s in our drop. So we're going to pick up, let me make sure I picked up 3 15-0s. So we're going to pick up 3 15-0s. Then we're going to pick up an 11-0, our bicone, an 11-0, and one more 15-0. So you should have 3 15s, an 11, a bicone, 11, and a 15. Let them drop. So now we're going to skip over that last 15. We're going to come back through the 11, the bicone, and the 11. Pull it all up, just like that. So now pick up 3 more 15s. What you do on one side, you got to do on the other. So if you can see here, the work is coming out of that side of the 11-0 here at the tip. So I'm going to take these 3 15-0s and I'm going to come back through that 11-0 here at the tip from the opposite side. And when I pull everything into position, hopefully not getting hung up on anything, I have created my cute little drop. And you could pass through that again if you like. I kind of like to not pass through it again if I don't have to, because I have these 11-0 seed beads protecting my thread at the corners of the bicone. And I like for it to be a little dangly. When you're using Fireline, if you go through it too many times, you stiffen it all up. So what you would want to do, if you don't want to pass through them again, is make sure that when you're pulling your beadwork, let me get a little tension here, that your beads are got a nice shape to them. Just like that. Cute little V. So now, I am coming out of that tip bead. I need to go into this corner bead right here. And what I'm going to do is put my 15-0s in around these 4 beads. So pick up your 15-0 and pass through your next 11. And repeat that. Just make sure that you don't get your thread hung up around your drop. And pick up a 15-0 and come through the next 11. And 2 more. So 15-0. My next 11 here. And that just really accentuates the gold, and it covers up the string, a little bit of thread you can see there on the outside edges of that unit. So there I am putting my last one in. So now I want to come over to these 4 beads. In order to do that, I'm coming out of that 11, so I'm going to roll up to the side here. And I'm going to come through the 11-0 at the base, like that. Now I can roll it up on this side. And I need to get into these 4 beads first before I add my 15-0, so come through that bead. Now you can add your 4 15-0s on this side. This project works up really quick, and that is my goal for the next few weeks, is to get you guys some great gift tutorials up that you can make with, you know, not so many beads. You can make it up pretty quickly. And you'll have some beautiful gifts to give for Christmas with that extra loving handmade touch. So I'm adding my last 15-0, and I'm coming through the 11 and the 15-0 here. Because now I'm going to work my thread off. So I come through the 15-0. So now I'm going to come down through the 11-0 and the 15-0 on this side. And then I'm going to pass through just the 11-0 gold right here. So here's my earring so far. And it looks great. So when I'm doing right angle weave, I like to weave the thread off. So I'm coming out of that gold bead that we just passed through. Now I can come down through an aqua bead. So now I'm going to work my way around. I'm just going to zigzag through, just like we did to move around the beadwork. Now this bead right here, of course, is being really difficult, really tight. So instead, I'm going to come through the bead in the middle, so I don't run the risk of breaking a bead. So now I flip my work over, and so here's my thread down coming out of that bead there. So I can just come down this aqua bead right here, and I'm still following my thread path. And now I can work with the beads on the flat side like that. So now that I'm in this unit, I'm going to go all the way around it. So I was coming this way. I was working towards this tip, but now I'm going to work back towards the gold. is I want to make a full thread path around one or two of these units, so I know my thread is nice and secure. So when I cut it, I don't have to worry about it coming loose. So now I'm back over here. I can come up this bead and keep moving towards the tip here. Now I can pass through the tip, or I can come through this bead. So I'm going to come through this bead. And now I am here. And once I got here, I realized I had a loose spot from where we joined these together. So now I'm going to tighten that up. So I've got to come into this bead. I must have forgotten a step. But that's okay, because now I'm fixing it. I need to reinforce this unit. The whole unit. So I'm going to go around here, and I'm going to reinforce my whole unit. All I'm doing is going around in circles around those 4 beads. And I see a little tiny bit of string right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to singe that sucker into oblivion with my little thread zapping tool. Or you can cut it with scissors or just whatever. So now, that is great that I ran across that, because I would really have regretted later. Alright, so there's this part. And so now, let's see where I'm exiting. I'm exiting this bead right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down through the bead underneath and come straight across. And then I'm going to come through the bead on the side. And you can just stop whenever you feel like your beadwork is secure. I'm going to come back around just like this. Then I'm going to go back through that bead down here in the hidey hole. Now that I'm there, I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to end my thread. And there's the beautiful earring. Here's the mate. Here's my little ear wire I made. I'm just going to open up this loop just wide enough to get my loop, get it through this loop here on the beads. Very gently, I'm going to close it up. Just like that. And there I have 2 quick and easy, gorgeous little earrings. My time's come out here at 54 minutes, but we have done a lot of gabbing, and I will try to edit this down. For those of you who are familiar with right angle weave, I'm going to edit this down to where it's a lot shorter. If you're not familiar with the cubic right angle weave, you will definitely need to study up on it before you try to make these earrings in under an hour. But it should take no longer than 30 minutes per earring, and they're beautiful. Alright guys, there's going to be a pattern for my opulent opals on my website. The class is going to be on Skillshare. I have a bunch of new patterns on my website. Well, not a bunch, but I have a few. And I'm constantly trying to add more and more. I'm going to be putting up a beautiful pattern for my Green Goddess ring that I made to go with the bracelet. I probably am not going to get to a pattern for the necklace anytime soon. I don't know if you guys saw this necklace in a different video or something. But here's how the bracelet turned out from the last video I did, which was for the cubic right angle weave, or just the regular right angle weave, I'm sorry, using the mini duos for the bracelet ends. Here's how the bracelet came out. Super beautiful. The full pattern's available on my website. And then I worked up a ring because, I don't know, I was sitting here messing around. And so I came up with this ring, and I love it. It matches this perfectly. And I have the pictures and everything in place. I just got to type up the written instructions for this one. And it's just fantastic. Look how beautiful it is. I love this set. Thinking about not even selling it because I'm thinking, really, I just want to keep it. Anyhow, so that's available now. This will be available by the first of the week, if not sooner. This pattern will be available at the first of the week. Look for some videos on wire wrap loops and simple loop earrings. I'm really going to be doing a lot and doing it really fast for the next few weeks, folks. All right, so that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, first of the, quick gift series. Follow me on my social media. Jump on over to the website. Make sure you're subscribed and pick your subscription plan because you get a different discount on your patterns and jewelry depending on which plan you're on. All right, folks. Have a great day, and thanks for watching.